very good morning to you and welcome back to the channel. First things first, I think I've fixed the GoPro. It was telling me I need a new SD card, so I went and ordered one off Amazon, a V30 SD card, because this is a higher resolution camera compared to my old one. So fingers crossed I filmed the whole video on this, because what I did film in the last video was, it sounded alright, and some of you guys said it was alright. So yeah, just generally keep me up to date on how the videos are doing and how the videos are sounding, because I don't necessarily watch them all back, I only edit them and put them up. But as a roundabout thing, just want to say really appreciate the comments in the last video, really appreciate the views as well. Some of the comments were absolutely fantastic, real positive. Well, most of them were all positive. I'll explain. I think there's a couple of people were saying about cover crops. Why don't we put cover crops in and do it like that, buy a cheap tine drill, that's this, that and the other. I'll explain about that in a second. Yeah, but what we are doing today is we are ploughing. We're still ploughing the new land. We're in 30 acre, the other 30 acre field. Dad's ploughing, he's just up there, and I'm having to power harrow in front because it is absolutely, it was -4, it's absolutely solid. So if he went in straight in with the plough, he will just be turning slabs of frozen soil over, and it won't be very good, and the stubble will still be on top, and it wouldn't be very nice come springtime when we try and knock it down. So that is what we're doing. You probably think we're wasting a bit of diesel, but I'm on GPS. I'm not in very deep on the power harrow, just tilting at the top. It's not costing a great deal to do. It's costing, I worked it all out, it's costing less to do this still, plough and power harrow, than it would be to cultivate again, let it grow up green, and the cost of glyphosate, the cost of Roundup, is greater than it would be doing this. You probably think we're mad, but it costs less, believe me, it costs less, because the Roundup isn't cheap. It used to be a cheap product, you know, a couple of years ago, but sky high now, and a lot of people around here have started to get the plough out the nettles and start ploughing, just turning fresh soil over, and a fresh seed bed and a fresh start. As for regards to the comments, I will get around to replying to them all, but just this one stood out. I can't remember the name. Said buy a cheap tine drill, the land looks wet, and put cover crops in and roll them down on the frost. Now then, for starters, we're only renting the land, like I said. We've got a drill. We could drill cover crop into this, but then that's another expense. Buying a cheap tine drill is another expense as well, which we don't want to do. The land itself is dry. It only looks wet probably on camera, and there's the odd wet bit. It's all tile drained. All this land that we're renting is tile drained, and there's the odd wet spot where probably I need to go through with a drain jetter. As regards as the cover crop, we're paying rent on the land. I've looked, always happens. I've looked into these new schemes as well, but if you own the land, it's fine. If you're renting the land, it doesn't add up. Doesn't add up to put it in. Also, then I believe he was on about rolling the cover crops down on the frost and drilling into that. If you go with a set of rolls on this land, you might hit a stone or that in on the frost, crack your rolls when it's frosty. That could be handy. You'll only sort of roll the cover crop over, you won't sort of mash it up, and then when you come to drill it, it'll all be all over the place. Yeah, it just adds up for us. Not saying it might not work for someone else. For us, it adds up to plough, and either we could, if it's a nice spring, go over with a set of gang rolls over what we've ploughed and just drill into that instead of just power harrowing it and then drilling. Who knows what the weather's going to be like as well. So you drill all these cover crops and you haven't put a tine through the soil, you haven't sort of aerated the soil, you could get a load of water sitting in your cover crops, and now you're going to plough that in. This land's funny. It might work on other lands. I'm not totally disagreeing with you, I'm just saying it doesn't work for this land and our type of farming. Every farm's different, I appreciate that, and everybody does things differently, but I'm showing what you do, what we do on YouTube, and I like to hear your thoughts, I like to hear the comments, and it's just interesting to see and hear what you guys have been doing and what you guys have seen, to put in the comments and sort of help us, and sort of help me get an idea on what things and what different, I'm just jabbering on now, what different farming practices other people do and what we could in the future bring to our farm. That's what I'm trying to say. Now then, if you're in a tractor, I don't recommend trying to pour yourself a bit of coffee, because literally half the flask just went down me and it just... Coffee's hot! Yeah, coffee is hot. Yeah, not good. The dog likes some coffee, so he'll be bouncing about the cab later in a minute, won't he? Hey, wouldn't you? Just licked half the coffee up there and spilled on the floor. 2 sugars, bit of milk. So, got that field done, or this field done, just after dinner anyway. Dad's just finishing up. He's going to drag the press here, so I ain't got to run on the field and go and get the press. I'm going to move it to a 25-acre field just down the road here, that you'll see in a second. That field's a bit sinky. Yeah, there's the odd place where it's a bit sinky. It's tile drained, mind you. It is all tile drained, but it's just a bit sinky. It's just how the soil is. Real black soil, real fan soil. But how this is drying out, look how brown that's drying, how that's drying out in there. It's a shame we can't put winter crop in there, but we're gonna have it spring barley. we've got a lot of spring barley, put it that way. We're gonna have it spring barley, and then I think we're gonna have some oats down there, and see how we get on with them. But we've got a lot of spring barley this year. We like barley. We like a bit of barley. Now then, a little bit of change of plan. We was going to go and do that 25-acre down the bottom there, but like I said, it's a bit sinky, so we're going to leave that a bit longer, leave that to dry a bit longer, and go on a couple of fields of our own. Just moving the press now, and then I've got to sort out, because this JCB needs a service. both tractors, ideally the 60/30 and the T60/50, that they both need a service. The one that's on the plough and the one, not the T6 145, the T60/30 that Dad uses on the sprayer and the Amazon drill. So they both need a service, the two older tractors, and the telehandler needs a service. So got to sort out a few bits for them. So hopefully that's another couple of videos. I can service the tractors myself, but this JCB's got an engine oil leak somewhere coming from the back end. So Agrimen's going to come out and have a look at that, and while he's here we said, oh, we may as well do a service on this. So while I'm servicing the tractors, Michael from Agrimen's going to service the JCB, sort of getting all planned ahead. Fingers crossed it won't work out like that. So yeah, while we're not using the JCB that much now, the time of year is to give it a bit of a birthday, because it's used every day. It's underestimated, this machine is. Anyway, that's got the press moved to the other field. I will rejoin you not tomorrow, because I'm probably doing the same job as I was today on a different field. I'll rejoin you Saturday with some ploughing, I hope, fingers crossed. I'm going to jump on the plough and do some ploughing. So we'll rejoin you Saturday.